call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.
Hello, welcome back to the Necro Zoo. I am Bones. And in this one, let's go ahead and add one more figure to my McFarlane DC Multiverse collection. Now this time we will be taking a look at the Arkham Knight from the video game series. Now, I'm not a big gamer, never have been, but these figures do look pretty cool and pretty interesting. We have had various releases from all of the Arkham games, and in fact now we're getting a whole wave with the Solomon Grundy wave, which will even include some gold label variant versions, which is always appreciated. Now, one of the main reasons I wanted to go ahead and take a crack at this figure is because I had not opened up either of my weapons packs that I received from McFarlane, and I had an eye on one of the guns that I wanted to use for this character because of course he comes with minimal weapons. Now he does look pretty stealthy in the packaging, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. But first, he does come with your standard black DC Multiverse stand. Now, these are not really needed, but sometimes useful. He also comes with his data file card. On the front, you do have some figure photography. And on the back, you do have some information. Pretty cool. Add that to the collection. Now, he does come with some accessories. He comes with two little, like, canister gas canisters or flashbangs or something like that. I'm sure somebody that is more familiar with the games could actually tell me. But always cool to have these little accessories for taking photography or, you know, doing little dioramas. So they look pretty good. Nice little detail. And there's two of them, so you could put one in either hand. Pretty sweet. He also comes with a grapnel gun that has a pretty unique little grapnel. So not sure if this is from the game, probably not, but pretty nice for McFarlane to include this. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at him. Now, I have heard and watched a lot of reviews of this figure, so I do know the things that people complained about, but as always, I want to take my own look at it and get my own opinion on it. First impressions, it looks really nice. I love all the armor detail. There is like tons and tons of different little grains and different little, you know, sculpting details on the whole figure. He looks really good. I do know that in the game there's like different versions, like a red version and a blue version. Sometimes even mixed, like, because it's supposed to have like camo paint on it. Not sure if I'll do a repaint of this. I might. But for now, he looks really good to me. I also know that in the game there's like different versions. It could be Jason Todd or something like that, so not too sure about it, but as a pretty cool armored tactical character, he looks really awesome. Let's take a look at the head sculpt. Really nice head sculpt. Love like the flaring wings that go up the side that kind of represent, like, you know, the little ears on the back cowl. Looks really cool. The eyes are painted in like a glowing blue. Looks pretty high tech. And it is a really nice representation of the images from the game. Has that cool shape to the cowl helmet. So, really happy with that. Let's take a look at the articulation. He can't look up basically at all. I mean, it moves up a little, but it's kind of stuck there, so we'll have to take a look at that so we can mod that. Looks down relatively well. You do have right to left, and then of course he could tilt his head for some character. Pretty nice. All in all, happy with that head sculpt. A lot of nice little detail feathered in there all around the helmet. Let's take a look at the chest emblem and body armor. As I said, a lot of attention to detail. Looks really nicely sculpted. And I'm sure it doesn't look exactly like any version of the game. I mean, it's there, but there's little slight details. I'm not too knowledgeable about that, but for me, this one looks really good. And from just quickly looking up reference pictures, it does look pretty accurate for the most part. So happy with that. Let's take a look at the waist articulation. You do have side to side. You have that full range of motion at the waist. You do have lower waist swivel, upper chest swivel. You could twist him, get him in some cool poses. He does have a slight crunch, and he can lean back. Not too far, but you do get some back range there, putting him in some cool poses. Now let's take a look at the shoulders. You do have a butterfly joint underneath all of this armor and the shoulder pauldron. He does have up and down, front to back in that butterfly. Bicep swivel. Really smooth double jointed elbows that actually look really nice and clean. Going down from the shoulder. He does have a nice paint app there with a little bit of brushing, kind of like armor, light gray, silver brushing around the whole figure. Moving down into the gauntlets, there are these bulky, like really armored up forearm guards with a lot of detail. Going down into the wrists, you do have that McFarlane articulation where you can hinge and swivel. Get a lot of good bend there for when he uses weapons. The wrist ball joint is sunken in really good, but it minimizes the articulation, but you could still get a lot of range. And on the left side, you do have the same setup. Let's check out the Tpose. You can get them in a nice Tpose. The shoulder guards, of course, slide up, so you could put him in a perfect T. You can move his arms above his head, moving him forward. So a lot of nice range of motion there. Take a look at the belt area. Has a lot of pouches, pretty cool detail. Tons of pouches on the left side. You do have these like canisters that are over his left thigh, which I'm pretty sure would limit the articulation. But I mean, you can still move the leg around because the plastic is soft and bendable. So not too much of a hindrance. Let's go ahead and check out the thigh swivel. Pretty nice thigh swivel, has a lot of range there. Now you can cock out the leg, bend the knee, and get that sweet thigh swivel. You got double jointed knees. Looks good. Straighten it out. You have up and down at the ankle, right to left, rocker, and toe articulation. Now, before we go, let's take a look at the lower body. Of course, this is a big problem that they had with this figure, and it is that the feet are really flimsy, both of them actually, but I already knew this and I already had a plan to actually quickly fix this. I'll show you guys after we're done. But all the armor on this figure and all the fabric detail and the grain is just beautiful. This figure is really nicely sculpted. I mean, in fact, I didn't think too much about this figure, but now having him in hand, I'm really loving like the tactical, battle gear style to this figure. Looks really, really cool. Love how the knee guards are like soft plastic. That way you still get a lot of full range in the lower extremities. Let's go ahead and take a look at them from the bottom. Some really interesting tread work there. Love me some tread. Moving up the back, more nice sculpt work. Pretty cool. You can feel that grain in the plastic. It's a really like soft plastic, but it does have, rigidity. So loving that. Love his back. He kind of has like a faux spine column part here that looks really cool. You do have gaps so that the butterfly joints fit in to give them more range. Tons of detail throughout the whole back. I love this look from the back. It just looks awesome. And you do have the back of the helmet that has like a guard and then a little bit more of that wash, like silver armor wash, like kind of a gunmetal. Beautiful, beautiful sculpt work. Beautiful the way they put together the figure so that he has like full range throughout the whole body. I just can't say enough how I'm really liking this figure in my hand. Pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and do the changes. Now, first up, the head. If you push this forward, you can see that I modded it a little bit, but it's really slight. But I modded the back, the porthole of the back of the neck, and now he looks up way more. You get a lot more height there. And it's something that you could do that cannot be seen, and the collar moves with the head. That way it gives it a lot more freedom to move around. And like I said, it just looks awesome that you could look up. Now the feet, the easiest way I thought to do this was to just go ahead and change out the pegs. Now, of course, you could use that Kiki or that Kiwi or whatever that people use. You could also just use cheap super glue, but that's kind of messy and I just really didn't want to go through with that. So I thought I have some extra pegs because of all the custom work that I've done. Not too sure where they come from, but they're black, so they should fit right in. Warmed the feet up with my heat gun, popped off the feet and pegs, and then put the new pegs in. Now, it didn't fit exactly. I did have to bore it out a little bit with a drill, but they do fit. You just gotta push them in there. And then the feet snapped in, and actually this came out really, really good. No fuss, no mess. And now the feet are really stiff. They even have that ratcheted feel, which not completely, but it just gives it a little bit more sturdiness. And the feet are less likely to flop around. And now you can actually stand them up right away without any problem at all. And he doesn't, go forward. Before, if I would push him forward, he would just like fall forward. And now he stands up pretty good. In fact, just with that boot modification, this figure is really, really awesome. I'm going to have a lot of fun taking some pictures and putting them in different situations. Pretty cool. Now you can put the grapnel gun in his hand. He does have 2 trigger finger hands. So that looks good. Not a problem. You can also put both of the little, canisters or whatever they are into his hands. Could have them both in there. And then what I did is, since I had not opened up my weapons pack from McFarlane, I actually saw a gun in there that I was eyeing to use for this character, just with some modifications. So I did take it out. Now I took off some parts and extended the barrel on the front, and then I added kind of like this scope on top, just to match a little bit more with how the Arkham Knight's gun actually looks. Now, it should be a little bit more slender and long, but besides that, the shoulder stock fits pretty well, and I did paint it a really nice silver, just to give it some separation and give it a more Arkham look. And of course, this does fit into his hand, and that just completes the cool little Arkham Knight image. Now I put him in different poses. He's a really posable character. Once I fixed the feet, he was able to just crouch down and hold his weapon, and I'm having a lot of fun with him. Really looking forward to taking some pictures. And in all honesty, this is a really, really beautiful McFarlane figure. Now I know he's gonna look really awesome up here on my shelf. You guys keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you on the next one.